All right, try now, Ryan. Are we good? Hello, hello.
Hi there, hi there. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hi there,
Check,
hello
check,
there.
check.
Yep.
All right, try now.
We're here.
Ryan, are we good? Hello, hello.
There we go. Hi there, hi there. Testing 1, 2, 3. That sounds like me.
Yep, we're
Okay.
here. Hello, happy
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday,
whatever it
everybody.
is.
Welcome to the Long Beach Tuesday live unboxing show.
And the electricity is on.
The electricity is on. The air conditioning is on.
The roof isn't leaking.
The roof isn't leaking. Comic books are still happening. They're still coming in. The comic books flow. The comic books must flow.
Spice must flow.
I guess there was a new Dune trailer. I haven't seen it
Yeah, that's part of our
because I'm going to
discussion.
see it anyway. Welcome, everybody. We're going to give Derek a little while to do all his sharing and caring. And in the meantime, we will BS about something.
Someone comment so we know that the comments are working too.
Yeah,
Steven, you
let
can
us-
be our first comment.
Let us know. Can
Let
you
us know.
hear us? Can you
Hi,
hear
Ryan
me
and
now?
Derek. And look, there's Steven too. Wave, Steven. There's a picture within a picture, so you should be able to see
Yep.
a small version of me and Steven in the corner. Which be careful when what her name is, Annie, when you walk by.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan.
Don't walk this way.
I'm sure there's some store business we want to talk about, but first and foremost, you hit 500 pull box customers.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I forgot that was a thing.
Ding, ding, ding,
Ding, ding, ding, ding, yay.
I promised Annie and Eduardo I would take them out for dinner.
Just
and drinks.
Annie and Eduardo. Did you know that, Steven? All the social media and all the videos, none of that mattered. Just Annie and I saw. Did you see the Facebook story or the Instagram story?
Yes.
It was Annie and Ryan. Was it Ryan's wife too?
Yeah.
And they're all at the Bamboo Lounge.
You
having
don't
fun.
drink.
And that, but not even the invite, not even the call,
Not even taking to McDonald's, getting
Not-
supersized.
not nothing.
Nothing.
But
Derek,
congratulations,
Derek, listen,
Ryan.
listen.
Congratulations.
Listen, though. Are you an employee?
I'm a contract worker.
Derek, do you work for me?
I get paid.
If you decide to say you work for me, then I will take you out to dinner.
Ryan, do I not post every week about people signing up for a pull box? One of these customers had to come to the fray just because of my posts, I say.
Well, I guess I owe Derek $50 and a dinner. Oh wait, I already paid him $50.
Did he lose another bet?
I'll take a high five. A high five and from a distance, and the 3 seashells. So Ryan, you saw something. Well, in all seriousness, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's something we were talking about for a while, hitting the elusive 500. And
It was kind of a spur of the moment thing, and we weren't going to do it that night, but they were both here, and so we went.
We still have to have your grand reopening party and under new management party and under new ownership party and all these things.
I still want to do all that stuff. I just want everybody to be in here with a freaking mask on and to be able
happen
to
in 2022.
drink beer and have food and hang out and have a normal time. So I promise it's still happening. We just got to get there.
So
Ryan looks like a little kid tonight. I guess I don't have to read the comments out loud. I do that to
That's a good
myself. It's kind of like
That's a
the
good
pipe
one.
joke, so you could just leave it there.
Somebody said should give you a hug.
I think I'm supposed to give Derek a hug.
Ryan couldn't spare more food for the loyal pipe joke maker, aka myself. Real classy, Ryan. Yeah, we wouldn't have reached 500 if it wasn't for Luis's jokes. I say, all credit to Luis.
The pipe brought him into 500.
Exactly. So another store business. Hey, free comic book day.
Yeah,
It's coming up. What's up with that?
it's coming up real soon. What's up with that?
What day is it?
It's
14th?
Saturday, August 14th.
14th. So that's 2 weeks almost.
I'm not going to be here.
Really?
I'm so sad now.
Oh my God. It's 2 people down. That's okay. We'll figure it out. Yes, August 14th. This is the first in-person free comic book day we've had in a while. I don't know what all the logistics of it are going to be, but we are definitely doing the food drive like we've always done. So
And what is that, real quick, for anyone who doesn't know?
sure. Pulp Fiction has a long-standing tradition of using the Free Comic Book Day event as also a food drive. So the last couple times we've been working with Long Beach Rescue Mission. That's what we're using again, right, Annie? Okay, so here's how that works if you're new, because there's a lot of new folks that you haven't done this with us before. I ordered pretty much everything for Free Comic Book Day, and I ordered a lot of everything. You better come, yeah. You get one for showing up, one free comic book for showing up for Free Comic Book Day and just showing your smiling faces. And if you bring canned goods for the food drive, you get more. The more cans you get, the more stuff you get to take. And there's a lot to take because this is my first time quarterbacking a free comic book day, and Annie's reminding me that we will also be accepting cash donations. Which actually, if you ask the Long Beach Rescue Mission, which do they prefer? I was queuing up Annie. That would be cash. Cash. They prefer cash. So I trust that it is going to the right place. We're not taking the money and then going back to the Bamboo Club. It's
without Steven and Derek.
No,
but more importantly, without Derek.
We get a fair amount of cash donations, actually. It's
That's
usually
awesome.
folks that don't, just kind of forgot or weren't paying attention, or, it's easier than carrying food around, or maybe they don't have a lot of extra
Well,
food.
there's also kind of a bit of a, to go back to the comic culture, a little bit of a FOMO. You come in, you got a can or two, you're here, and then you're like, oh man, but I want this issue too. And then people would drop some good old hard cash for that free comic book day.
And inevitably, don't be this person. Inevitably, there's always somebody that's like, well, how much money do I have to give you for the day? If I give you this much, how many comic books do I get? Don't do that. You're going to get compensated for your kindness.
And the other thing
I promise.
that you can also, like mac and cheese, even cereal, that can be donated too.
Don't
in
bring,
a box, not open.
Yeah,
not a bowl of mac and cheese.
Not a bowl of mac and cheese.
Not grandma's favorite mac and cheese leftovers from last night.
Yeah, no expired foods, but as long as it's sealed, like that kind of stuff, because they do actually like that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
beyond cans.
No animal food, please.
Yeah.
No dog food, no cat food. That's happened before.
You have cat food at home, so
we got plenty of cat food, and we don't want to feed the people in need cat food. No. They're not District 9 aliens. Let me get that cat food, mate. Yeah, that cat food. Let me get that. Okay. And Xavier here bravely volunteering. He is usually the one who always forgets the canned goods, and that's okay. That's why it's we. And I forgot cash. Well, we're not taking credit card donations, so try to bring cash.
Any hot books? This is there a
man. There's
what's the Marvel one? The Dark Age. It Lights Out. What is it called?
There's a cool new miniseries from our buddy Tommy Taylor. It's just, I guess that's a meme now at this point with us.
Okay.
It actually got. I feel like that got previewed in the last Free Comic Book Day book, the Dark Age thing, Lights Out thing. That looks really cool. No, the big one is Enter the House of Slaughter. Everybody's really excited about Something's Killing the Children.
Oh, yeah.
Keep getting people asking me if we're going to get the Free Comic Book Day version of that.
Stray Dogs.
Stray Dogs is going to have a Free Comic Book Day edition. Tons of kids' books. Bring your kids, bring your nephews, your nieces, or bring them home to them, cousins, whatever.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah, and like I said, I got everything. Mike would always be so, I don't know, this is my first time doing it. And then when I started seeing, by the way, it does cost money. We do have to buy them. It's not free. They're not free to us. We buy them, and then you get them for free. The whole point of it is to spread awareness about comics and hopefully get people involved. What would be kind of neat, Derek, is if we did something where it was like maybe people told their stories about how Free Comic Book Day was their first time
That'd be cool.
coming to the shop, because I know I've heard those testimonials from some of our customers. That would be really cool.
It's a cool day where there's a bunch of kids. There's all ages books too. A bunch of families come out.
Yeah,
people dress up and stuff.
It's typically the busiest day of the year.
It's like Black Friday, but for comic book.
It's like Black Friday, but for Comic Book Day.
Yeah.
And you get freeze. Don't come in and just grab comic books off the wall. That's another fun one. That's a good indicator. It's somebody's first rodeo.
Your normal retail books for free. It's specific books.
So he walks in, they just start taking them off the wall. I guess they're just giving these away. I don't know.
Everything's free.
No. Yeah. No, it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm still trying to work out just the logistics in terms of like how to bring people in and how many people can we have inside the shop and that kind of stuff. But beyond all that, everything's going to be the same. Bring your food, bring your kids, bring your wife. And we're going to have a good time.
Have we done one at this location before?
Nope.
Yeah. Because this location was started January 1st, 2020, right?
Yep. And we got shut down March, April, May. It's like two months shy of Free Comic Book Day. So, well, we got the books, and that's true. It wasn't a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple comments here. Louise says, Has anyone made a pipe joke in person at the store? Yes,
Yes.
that has happened.
Mhm.
Eduardo says Ryan flying solo. Well, Steven and I are right here, and Annie's over there. Hello.
And still not taking a dinner.
And he says no one wants to join you. Well, that's because he doesn't share the victory of the 500th. So no, everyone's like, oh, I don't want to sit with you anymore.
It's all about Ryan.
Eduardo also says, did you cover how many people inside? Is there a limit regarding Free Comic Book Day?
I think that there is, and I don't know what that number is, and I'll have to look at it and figure out.
I don't think you usually hit that because we're usually good with crowd control outside.
We've done the thing where we only let 10 people in at a time.
Mhm.
And, we're kind of already accustomed to doing that sort of thing, but we were already doing that to make sure not too many people went in the store. Most of the reason though we were doing it was the bureaucracy of making sure that somebody walked into the store in order to get the ticket to go back outside. Here's the line. Is this the line to get your beer or the line to get the ticket to get the beer? That's the kind of thing. I think I might skip that. I'm not so hard up for people to make sure they get in here and look at retail items, that if people want to come to the front of the store and just drop off their food and take free comic books home, that's okay. I might do that just to streamline it a bit. But I'm not sure yet. I got to look into it, but we always have a plan. We will have a plan. I just don't have one yet.
He's got a plan.
But as of now, like I said, as far as it's going to be like any other normal free comic book day, as far as just bring your food items as much as you want. And I'm not going to run out of anything. I got plenty to give out.
DC got a good book?
I don't know what DC's doing.
Batman.
Yeah, there is a DC thing, but I had to order it from Lunar.
Yeah, there's a Batman.
I don't know
and
when
then
I'm getting
there's
those yet.
The young adults flip book.
Yeah. There's cool DC stuff, Marvel stuff, all around. It's going to be a good one.
All right, so let's zoom. Good job. Let's zoom through a couple other things real quick. How was Empty Man? I saw you post about that. That's a comic book movie, right?
It is. I guess it got released in theaters to not very much fanfare. It got really terrible reviews.
It was released in empty theaters for Empty Man.
Yeah, empty theaters for
Empty
empty
Man, yes.
people that are maybe
part of the
maybe
promotion.
I'm on the empty. Maybe I'm empty on the inside. That's why I enjoyed it so much.
You watched on Amazon, right?
No, it's on HBO.
Yeah, it's on HBO. I think it's on both, actually.
Oh, cool. I just saw it trending on my feed. I follow a lot of horror critics and people that love horror movies and stuff. Speaking of horror movies, there's did
Creature
you guys
just walked
feel a
backwards.
chill? Did you guys all feel that chill come through?
It's a slender woman.
It was anyway, it's good. I liked it a lot. I recommend it. It's better than the reviews and the trailer would have you believe.
What's the premise of it?
It's sort of like premise. It's like a disease. It's an idea that spreads like a disease, and the idea makes you crazy.
So it's a Resident Evil.
No, it's more. It's like a creepy pasta, paranoid thriller, mystery cult movie.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Nice.
Anyway, the comic book is nothing like it at all. I started reading it. I'm almost finished. But it's
That's
also
so
very good, and we have them here in the shop if you're interested.
Is the comic better than the movie?
Usually it is.
They're so different. I don't know.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the movie. If it comes out on Blu-ray or whatever, I'll probably pick it up.
One of the funniest stories I heard, I remember, like the comic movie adaptation was Wanted. Did you guys ever see Wanted years ago with Angelina Jolie?
Yeah, I don't remember
It's like
anything about it.
that book is completely different.
Yeah.
Then because they optioned it before the series was finished.
Yeah.
So like the first issue's kind of in there.
Yeah.
But then the rest of the movie is something completely
Well,
different.
it's like Akira. Akira was not finished when they did the animated film, so they just had to they asked him what the ending was, and he told them, and then they just kind of had to make up
Right.
an ending that was kind of like the ending, but not.
There you go.
In any case, check it out if you're in for a creepy good time. And we have the comic books here as well. I'm going to do a little transition just
Yep.
because I have a comment here on Instagram. Have you watched The Fear Streets yet?
Yeah.
I
yeah.
have. I watched the first one.
First of three.
I loved it.
Did you watch any of
I
them too?
haven't seen him yet.
Okay.
I thought it was fantastic. Highly recommended. 2 big thumbs up from Ryan.
There's 3 of them.
I
Yep. haven't
haven't watched the other ones yet.
They're all 3 out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All 3 of them are out.
And they've already announced that they would be down to go more.
I mean, if people watched them, right, they
Yep.
should. Or at least that filmmaker, give her more stuff to do.
So what's the first one about? What's the concept if people don't know?
Basically, just do you like Scream? Do you want more Scream? It's a Scream movie. I mean that in the best possible way. It takes place in 1994. So if you're a 90s kid like me, it opens in B. Dalton in a mall.
So cool.
Wow, that's a cut. And the first kill is actually, I guess it's the second kill. The first big marquee kill is straight out of what's her face getting killed in Scream.
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. And outside of that, it's really cool. It definitely has its roots in like teenage high school slasher horror.
Horny dead teenagers.
Yeah, but it's got a little bit self-aware and it doesn't take itself too seriously. And it had really endearing characters. I was impressed. I liked it a lot. I'm very excited to watch the next two.
So what's kind of cool about this one, it's 94, and the 80s is my favorite, but everything is 80s now, so it's kind of cool to see something that was 90s.
Yeah.
One of my biggest criticisms, though, I don't know if you noticed this, Ryan, holy moly, all the needle drops. I love all that music, but like let the song play.
Yeah, right.
It's like every 30 seconds. Oh, now it's the Cranberries. Oh, now it's
you want a good indication of how much Netflix money
All that
just
money.
burns.
Yeah.
Watch that movie and start keeping track of all the singles.
So the first one's 94. The second one is 70 what?
78.
78.
And then 1666?
Yes, and that's it. So that and they all kind of tie together, and I won't say much about it because you have to see the other two. But something I thought was really cool is the universe building, the mythology of it, and that there's multiple villains.
Yeah.
So the 78 would obviously be Halloween.
No.
The 78 one
Friday
is
the 13th.
kind of more Friday the 13th. Yeah,
No, that was 80.
it
Well,
was.
we're not. I don't know, but the movie itself is a summer
Okay.
camp
Yeah.
movie. It's
Okay.
it's
Because I was going to say
it's
78 would make sense for Halloween.
Halloween's
Right.
as close. I mean, the first one's as close as we get to Halloween, but it's definitely more
Yeah.
Scream
Okay.
than anything. People are getting killed in malls.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I meant I thought if they were like the 90s. Was
No,
Scream,
I think they're skipping the Halloween aesthetic
Okay.
altogether, unless they do that in another
Well, I meant just
installment.
like that in a way that not
like
so much
harkens to
Halloween,
it or whatever. Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Monique says Fear Street was really good. Yes, and I thought all the young actors were very charming. They use a couple of the actors from Stranger Things, but a lot of new faces too, right, Ryan?
I didn't know who any of these people were. I mean, I didn't catch that was Uma. I gotta remember her name, Uma Thurman's daughter, in the beginning.
Should name like Scout or something.
Yeah, even that was well, that might be a spoiler by saying.
Yeah, don't say anything.
Never mind.
Just say watch it.
Just say watch it. Yeah, most of the main actors and stuff, I don't know who they were.
Yeah.
The kind of aloof sort of Shaggy character in the Scooby Doo squad. I didn't like him at first, and he ended up being one of my favorites by the end of the movie. So
Yeah.
Did he have a little baby goatee?
no, well, maybe he did a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a hot take. Louis says the director of the Fear Street movies is married to one of the Duffer brothers, the creators of Stranger Things.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. It's all in the family.
Yeah, no kidding.
And that's why it's on Netflix.
Exactly. Okay. Speaking of other movie stuff, a couple trailers real quick. Let's ask you guys Ghostbusters Afterlife. Did you see it?
No.
The trailer.
I
The
saw
show.
it looks even more amazing than
Yeah.
I thought it was going to.
And then the toy. Hasbro posted some toys, which
Is
is
there a baby marshmallow man?
no, but
Fail.
I'm sure there will be.
They better make a baby.
but the toys have the OG guys,
Oh,
the original Ghostbusters.
yeah, you at the end of the trailer, and this is not what you hear Dan Aykroyd.
I'm not a Ghostbusters kid, guys.
Oh, I thought you heard Bill Murray. It was Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, it's Dan Aykroyd.
Either way, I like this trailer. Second trailer was
Is this
good.
the one that takes place in like a farmhouse?
Correct.
and-
Yeah,
Paul
so-
Rudd
so-
and a kid from Stranger Things.
Yeah,
Finn Wolfhard.
Mhm. So basically, what it is Egon. So it's Egon's daughter, and then I guess those would be like the grandkids.
Correct.
So they're in whatever Kansas for the sake of argument, type place, and he went there because there was something that was going on, and so the kids
A hellmouth, perhaps.
yeah, and then so the kids discover the ghost
Ecto One.
Ecto One, and and then all sorts of weird stuff starts happening, and of course it's got Paul Rudd, so that's just enough
Well,
to watch
that'll
it.
get my wife's butt in the seat at least.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and they show the scene with him in the little baby.
Oh, another reminder for everyone: please always keep your eyes peeled for a Mac and Me advertisement in a comic book. I'm hoping that it exists. If you happen to be flipping through your dollar bin books and you find a Mac and Me advertisement in your comic book, I need that so I can send it off to the Paul Rudd signing event whenever they inevitably do one.
There might be like at the very least, if like now on home video, I would say
That's what I'm saying. I would think that they'd have it somewhere in the back of a comic book. There is unfortunately no such thing as a Mac and Me comic book. Otherwise, that would be what I would do. What else, guys?
Dune. Did you see Dune trailer?
I didn't.
Ooh, what?
Well, I mean, I watched
There's
the original.
actually two trailers.
Yeah.
I don't like watching a million trailers. I watched the one, And then I go, hey, I'm going to see that. And then I don't
Yeah,
watch
because
anything
there
ever
was
again.
the first
Was a teaser, right?
Yeah, the first one, the first one you saw was a teaser. This one was an actual.
It actually had some humor in it.
Yeah,
and some
had-
Jason
had
Momoa
trailer
humor.
one. And then there was a second trailer drop the next day, which was the IMAX trailer.
Yeah.
Because apparently, and I did look it up, certain scenes are shot in IMAX.
It looks incredible.
And
The cast is
I
incredible.
can't wait for it to come out and flop.
So
That's my cynic coming out. But I mean, they did just give this man a whole bunch of money to do another big budget science fiction sequel thing based on another movie that was also a financial flop when it came out. And
David Lynch took his name off. It was an Alan Smithy movie.
No, that was just for the
no,
TV version.
I'm talking about the original Blade Runner was a financial failure.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about Dune here.
Right.
Yes.
But he's referring
and I'm saying that he had Blade Runner 2049 that came out.
Denise.
Denis
Yeah.
Villeneuve.
Yeah.
I mean, God bless him. I can't wait to see. I will watch anything that man does, and I think he's a perfect choice for Dune. But I think that it's going to come out and not make
I
anybody.
don't-
No. What do you mean? If you look at the Dune movie, it's David Lynch, and he took it off. It said Alan Smithy.
No,
the original.
only for the TV version because he didn't have anything to do with it. The actual theatrical does have his name on it.
There's a DVD out that says Alan Smithy on it.
That's
a TV version.
That's the TV version.
Interesting.
If you look at the opening and it looks like a bunch of kindergarten kids drew planets and stuff, that's the TV version.
And that's the one that's on the
That's
DVD.
the one that says Alan Smithy because he had nothing to do with that.
Interesting.
And the story.
By the way, I love it. I love how cheesy.
and
the
you know
original
why how he ended up getting to direct it.
is. How's that?
So there were many directors. Actually, at one point, Ridley Scott was.
I'll just I mean, I got let me know when you're done.
It was a Jordan.
So there were a
one,
number
right?
of takes on it. So Dino De Laurentiis had he really liked David Lynch. He really liked David Lynch movies, but he couldn't get anybody to direct Dune. So David Lynch made a deal with him: if you finance Blue Velvet, I'll direct Dune. So that's how basically
A
Blue
swap
Velvet
there. Nice.
Yeah. So he was happy. He and he kind of even said that he wasn't a big science fiction fan, and I think it kind of shows. But
I loved it. It was
no, I don't hate the film. I think it's just kind of a mess, but I think it's a glorious mess.
I remember
I think-
seeing it as a kid. It was so awesome.
And I think this one is an average moviegoer is not going to really care. I think you're right. Sad, but
I think it'll do great. Luis says the Ghostbusters trailer is 8 out of 10. Not enough explanations about Twinkies. Love it. Okay, so you skip seeing that, Ryan. This is a shot thing for Annie and Steven. Netflix is officially developing a brand new live action Pokemon TV series. And it could be connected to Detective Pokemon. We don't know yet.
So because the movie was sort of like a self-aware kind of comedy kind of thing, wasn't it?
well, I mean, it's the Pokemon live in the real world,
Right.
So yeah, so I would assume that this will probably be similar.
Right.
I mean, at the very least, even if you're not a Pokemon fan, the CGI was incredible. I mean, because they actually look like they were there. I mean, really look like they were there.
Cool.
It made
Which
me
was-
want a Pokemon.
I'm happy for Pokemon people.
Annie, are you excited there's going to be a show?
Me.
Here's something I'm excited about. So the J.J. Abrams, Ta-Nehisi Coates Superman, which we don't know a ton about, but supposedly it was going to be Kal-El, but an African-American version of Kal-El. And
Mr. B.
Michael B. Jordan was, talked about in the press. The press, would you want to play it? Because, people wanted him to play Superman before. And he was like, I don't know. I don't think so. But his reaction was kind of like, oh, there's a lot of great pre-existing black Superman characters, which I agree with. Calvin Ellis. Ryan's going to talk about a character that's very similar to Superman icon coming out. Steel, etc., who's on Superman and Lois right now. So a character that he's taken a liking to is Val Zod. So him and his production company are developing their own Superman movie, which I'm very excited
Now,
about.
is Val Zod President Superman?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's not correct. Calvin
He's the
Ellis.
Earth 2 Superman.
Correct. Yeah, Calvin Ellis is Superman from Earth 23. Earth 2 is a pacifist relative of Zod who was dating Power Girl and had to fight an evil version of Clark Kent. So I'm really excited. He's got that really cool white and blue costume. His character arc's really cool of how he accepts his hero's journey. So I'm very excited about Michael B. Jordan.
On Instagram, Versus Evil put it out. Kaiju Score is being developed.
Kaiju Score. What's Kaiju Score? Well, it's only that book that I was pushing on you guys for a few months. No big deal or anything. It's not like I thought it was a really cool book and told everybody about it. I have trade paperbacks right here that have just been sitting and collecting dust. Ask me if I have all of the issues and variants.
Do you?
Yes, I do. Ask them if anybody else can have them.
Can they?
No, they can't. They're mine. You had your chance.
I think the interesting thing in the kind of press release about it was like, oh, we don't want to reveal any of the story. It's like, well, I guess I could just go read the comic.
Or you just read the title.
I know it was kind of silly.
Speaking of indie things, also Chariot got options. Well, I guess it's moving forward with the Top Gun Maverick director. I don't know anything about that. But Chariot was kind of a cool riff on Knight Rider, and I do have those here for a below market price.
Yeah, they had kind of had the feel of Drive, that neon color stuff. So that's awesome. Yeah. Luis says, I watched David Lynch's Dune in college, in a college film class, when Paul's narration said, "Where are my feelings?" The entire class burst out laughing. Well, obviously you have no feelings, Luis. Next news story real quick. We got a new Batgirl. Did either of you guys see In the Heights?
I didn't, but
I saw it.
I saw it.
The gal, Leslie Grace, is going to play Barbara Gordon in the HBO Max Batgirl.
I'm ready for DC to take over the world with their movies.
Yes.
And overtake Marvel.
DC,
That's
fire,
what
fire,
I'm ready
fire.
for.
And then here's another cool thing. I didn't know
an
about this
underdog.
until today. Did you know about this, Ryan? There's a thing coming out called Batman Unburied on Spotify, and Winston Duke from
I saw that part.
who's M'Baku and Us, he's going to voice Batman.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
And it says it's Spotify's psychological thriller podcast revolving around Bruce as a forensic pathologist tasked with examining victims of the Harvester, a gruesome serial killer.
Pretty amazing that podcasts have brought radio drama back to prominence.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible.
Speaking of radio drama,
Nope.
I was actually
I love you, but no.
I was going to bring up comic news, but okay.
No.
Okay.
Is it about the Shadow or something? That
No.
only more than two people? Okay, go ahead.
It's about the Eisner Awards.
Oh, we should. You can talk about the Eisners for.
I will.
I'm allotting 2 minutes.
So speaking of radio drama, Superman Smash the Klan won 2 Eisners.
Good for them.
Gene Lewin
Yang, congratulations.
won 3 for Superman, 2 for Superman Smash Klan, and for Dragon Hoops.
Oh, I thought that was older than that.
No, it was last year. One of your favorites, Pulp won.
Cool.
Very cool.
Best original graphic novel.
We can see you on camera.
Okay. Kent State, very worthy. This was great.
But best like what nonfiction?
Best like reality work. And then Mr. Allred.
Mike Allred.
Mike Allred won for artwork on the Bowie book, and
cool.
his wife Laura Allred won for colors on the book.
Oh, very cool.
And one of my favorite books.
Yes, one of my favorite.
Jimmy Olsen won 2 Eisners.
Love it.
Was best humor publication and best limited series, which was a very tough category. So
I'm going to do one. What best web comic went to Simon Hanselman.
Oh, yeah.
And I will say this. I recommend Simon Hanselman and Megahex if you are the audience for it. It's about the darkest, most explicit, transgressive comic I've ever read. So go in, follow him on Instagram, and just read whatever his last comic was that he put out, and you'll know right away if it's something for you or not. But we've been putting his books. Sorry, the microphone. You mean?
No, just the comment.
Oh yeah, they've been reprinting his books, and I've been getting them here in the shop. So if you have an incredibly dark sense of humor, or you fancy yourself a person that has a dark sense of humor, but congrats to him. He celebrated by doing one of the most insane comic books recently, and usually when it to denote that it's the last panel, he just says the end, and this time it said the end ... Sorry, I was just I don't know how many people I lost with this, but I won an Eisner, so woohoo!
There you go.
So that was pretty cool.
and real quick, I want to mention because the Hall of Fame Thomas Nass, Rudolf Topher were the pioneers. Judges' choices were Alberto Breccia, Stan Goldberg, who's very famous for a lot of Archie comics. He actually worked at Atlas, i.e. Marvel before that. Francis Mooley, Lily Renee Phillips, and then the ones that were voted in were Ruth Atkins, Dave Cockrum, Neil Gaiman, and Scott McCloud.
Very cool.
So it was, and I really recommend not only any of the ones that won, but go back and look at the nomination list because there was a lot of good books this last year, and it'll, like you were saying with that, I mean, it's just it's a really good book.
I mean, depending on who you are,
Right.
I don't know. I remember when this was really popular when it was coming out, and I picked it up and I read it and I went, "Ew, gross." And then somebody, I had a recent friend who urged me to go back and check it out, and I've been reading just the short strips he's been putting on his Instagram account, and they are a riot. I laugh every time. So. Yeah.
Well, I would even say that about Jimmy Olsen. It's very bizarre for like a mainstream DC book, but it's great. It was really good.
Cody said Winston Duke of Jason Goes to Hell fame. We're not going to talk about it, but Cody, you need to tell me that story. Is Winston Duke and Jason Goes to Hell?
No
is
way.
He a kid? What the? What
yeah, he's not that old.
What's going on there?
That's amazing.
I would like to know.
Okay, real quick because we got to move on to comics. I won't give full reviews or anything, but I saw Snake Eyes in the theaters, and it was a movie.
Snake Guys.
Yeah, it's a comic book movie. And it lost to M. Night Shyamalan's Old in the box office. Saw Spiral. Are you gonna ever watch that, Ryan?
Eventually.
Saw 9.
I have to watch them all.
Saw 9.
Yes.
Any decent?
It was okay. They were trying to make
He was
Saw
wearing a backwards cap.
Yeah. One thing I thought was really cool. I'll tell a story real quick. One thing I thought was really cool was that 48 Hours with Eddie Murphy was originally supposed to star Sylvester Stallone.
Huh.
And so
instead of Nick Nolte, I'm assuming.
Well, no, instead of Eddie, it was an Eddie Murphy movie.
Oh.
So Eddie Murphy came on the
Whoa.
last minute and took a cop movie and added comedy.
Yeah.
So Eddie Murphy watching Saw 2 with Donnie Wahlberg said, I could play this role and I could just pepper in a little bit of humor. Yeah. So they were working on Jigsaw Part 2 and Chris Rock ran into executive at Lionsgate at a wedding in Brazil and said, hey, you have the rights to Saw, right? And he's like, yeah. He goes, I want to be in a Saw movie and I want to produce it. And they go, okay. Yeah. So they called the writers and said, scrap your screenplay plans and write a movie around Chris Rock. And they started trying to write comedy and Chris Rock goes, nope, don't write any comedy. I'll handle the comedy. Just write it straight. And he did good. He was funny. So it's worth a watch, but you don't have to rush out to see it. Also saw Gunpowder Milkshake. I'll talk about that more on my own stream, but it was worth seeing.
Is it worth seeing?
Yeah, it's some good action, but it's not as great as some people make it out to be. And then the Fear Street movies, we talked about that. And then Quiet Place 2, I talked to Ryan about that last week. Saw that. That's on Paramount Plus now.
Oh, is that another new
streaming service? Yeah.
Okay.
Along with Ryan's streaming service.
And
You're
then
start yours soon, right?
Yeah.
Ryan
yeah. Pulp Fiction Plus.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to spoil this for people that are behind on CW stuff. Flash Season 7 ended with a 2-part season finale. They hit their 150th episode. And what's cool is they brought in Bart Allen in Pulse. They brought in XS, his daughter from the future. And they brought
Mongoose.
Yeah, they brought back.
I was just kidding. Is that really what happened?
They're fighting Godspeed, and they brought back Reverse Flash. And in the end finale scene, Ryan, they had a Flash lightsaber battle. Did you know this, Steven?
Mm-mm.
That Flash can make a lightning lightsaber sword.
Okay.
And they had a 3-way lightsaber duel.
They find a way to work the trickster into that, since
They should have. Oh, that would have been great. But it was awesome.
Do you know about that?
Yeah, so that's another thing Steven brought up. There's a new Bat Cycle, Ryan. Did you see that? That's
it looks
Ben
just
Affleck's
like
Bat
Sean Murphy's bike from White Knight.
Indeed. And it's based off a real type of bike, so we're excited about that.
The rumor is that it's Ben Affleck.
Yeah, it's the Ben Affleck Batman, for sure.
Oh, that's on the Flash set.
Yep.
Yeah. Just kidding. I thought that was the Robert Pattinson set.
No, the Robert Pattinson motorcycle looks very different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's cool. 2 Batman for the price of 1. Louis says M. Night's Old is also a comic book movie. Oh, did we know
didn't
that?
know that.
It's based on a French graphic novel called Sandcastle.
Well, if it's French, it doesn't count.
Oh, oui.
It's not racist if you make fun of French people. It's just a joke. Calm down, everybody. So yeah, cool. All right, I think that's it for the pop culture news. Let me check my notes one more time. Annie, any store news we need to talk about? No. All right, cool.
Go
All
get
right,
your stuff,
I think
please.
we're good.
Those of you that haven't yet.
Let's move on to
Comic
the
Comics.
comic books.
All right, let's do it. I am ready. I am limber. Okay. Big book this week. I'm calling it the number one book, and it was really good. Superman of Kal-El, Superman son of Kal-El, excuse me. I'm sorry? Tommy Taylor and John Timms. I really enjoyed this issue, but I really expected to. Basically, this is a really great introduction. If you don't know who the heck John Kent is, don't matter. You're going to find out who he is. And if you know who John Kent is, and look, we're all stuck with John. I like John Kent, but he got aged up. Not everybody really cared for it. Some people did, some people didn't. But for better or for worse, we have the situation that we do. There is nobody that is better suited for running with this character than Tom Taylor. And I think that he knocked it out of the park. He got everything that makes Superman the sincere, compassionate character that he is, while mixing it with the fact that John is his own person. And I love that also they didn't forget Damian, because I think for a lot of folks, maybe part of the reason they were frustrated to see John Kent grow up so much is we wanted to see him grow up with Damian.
Yeah.
But that being said, this is also an interesting dynamic because it makes it kind of tragic that they continue to have their friendship. One person who is now grown up but missed his childhood, and the other one, well, I don't know how much more he kind of seems like he's missing his childhood too. I mean, if you're an international son of a League of Assassins, but overall it was really impressive. I highly recommend it. I hope people check it out. I do hope that this is the beginning of a new, era, I guess, for the character, getting the spotlight. And there's a couple of really cool alternate covers.
Nice.
Speaking of Damian, we got the In-Hyuk Lee cover here. Sticking with the younger John Kent on that one. And I don't remember who the artist is on this one, but I didn't get nearly as many.
That's very cool. And
last but not least, I have one left. The rest are already bought or spoken for. The 1-in-25 ratio variant by Jen Bartel.
Beautiful. If you do want to see younger Damian or younger Jonathan Kent, what can you pick up, Ryan? You have Challenge of the Super Sons.
You got Challenge of the Super Sons. You also have, I'm sold out now, but the Superman by Gleason and Tomasi Omnibus. Anything by those guys. But yeah, currently we have Challenge of the Super Sons that you can check out as well.
Tomasi is still writing, right?
Yes.
And you can see Jonathan Kent every Tuesday on Superman and Lois on the CW.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this too. We're big fans of Tommy Taylor, our buddy here at the store. I liked the Jonathan Kent Future State stuff. I liked his relationship with Yara Flor, with the Justice League. The only thing I wasn't a super fan of is that there's this weird prophecy prediction that Jonathan Kent might turn evil. I'm like, they already did that with Damian.
Yeah.
So I'm just just leave Jonathan Kent good. Don't.
I mean, comics are always a constantly, flowing river. And the nice thing about them is, one of the drawbacks to Netflix is that they decide to have a 11 episode season or whatever. They do the whole damn thing and then they just drop it. So if people are halfway through the season going, all right, they can't do anything about it until the next season. Whereas a regular, TV or even more so a comic book, you can really pivot. So if they see that
Pivot.
If they really see that people are not into the idea of John Kent being some harbinger of bad times or whatever, that don't matter. We'll just move forward with this.
And one of the benefits of aging up is he got to go get a girlfriend in the Legion of Superheroes.
Okay. Yeah. Girlfriends are always a plus. Okay, moving right along. Speaking of Tom Taylor, we have yet another reprint of his Nightwing series.
Bitewing.
This
Who
is
did that awesome cover?
78. This is Riley Rossmo.
Yes.
And yes, we got I think first no, it's not first cover appearance of Bitewing.
But first time Bitewing's in a costume.
Yeah, but look at him front and center. This cute little puppy dog. Y'all should be reading this book, and it keeps selling out. But I think.
Are we past the spoiler deadline of what's going on?
I think we could just say it. Go ahead.
He's got a sister, man. Dick Grayson has got a sister.
And this last issue goes back to it tells the origin, but we also get to see his parents and stuff. So
Yeah, it was really cool.
It was a really good issue, and I liked the guest artists too.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good how they broke
the
that up.
flashback.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things on last. Did you read the last issue, Ryan? No. One of my favorite things, Stephen, was when they Dick Grayson was supposedly in trouble, and then he realized he was safe and talking to his sister, and he goes, "Oh, whoops." He puts his mask on. He's like, "I'm safe, guys. Call it off. Call it off." And you see that the Titans are on their way.
Oh, I did see that.
And Batman's on the way. Yeah. And they're like, "But we're almost here." It's like, no, he's okay. And then everyone like, I thought that was good inside superhero baseball.
So, on Instagram, people post scenes, which is cool. Like I see these. I don't care about spoilers. But I see these scenes for these books, and somebody had posted that, and I was like, "This really is a wonderful, charming title. Like that was a really cool scene."
Yeah, love it.
I don't really have anything to say about this comic book. I just thought it looked cool, so I ordered a couple of copies. But I'm throwing it up there just so you guys can make jokes about the title.
Hyper thick.
Oh, we have a new one, kids.
Oh, that's not slim, kids.
No,
it's hyper.
All right,
how's the artwork on the inside?
I don't know what this thing is. I can't tell if it's reprints or. I mean, it looks like really old.
Oh, cool.
But on the back,
it's Golden Age.
It says a new dimension of poetic genius. Alan Moore, author of Watchmen and V for Vendetta. Maybe we should read this. Dead inside, hair on the blink, house tornado liquidizing the furniture. Here's a fab new rectangle from Steve Aylett, the man described by Warren Ellis as "Stop Following Me." You'll have a field day with this shredding medley of smashed treasure and murky diatribes. Become exhausted at your own pace. Wasting time has never been so easy. I don't know what this is.
It's hyper thick.
It's hyper thick. There's something about this I don't. Wrong as a pink gong. I kind of wonder maybe this is a modern book just doing an incredible job at looking like an old comic book.
Was it 1968? Was that what it was? That Image book that Alan Moore was writing?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was like
maybe that's related.
That like retro thing.
Maybe.
Luis says hyper thick was my nickname in college.
There we go. You're all welcome. Yes, it's a Coors Light. Derek brings me Coors Light sometimes.
Yeah, and he's like, "Why? Do you buy new Coors Light?" I'm like, "No, this is left over from a birthday party."
Okay, there's one other really good Superman book this week, and it's called Icon and Rocket.
Oh, so good.
I feel bad. I didn't get a chance to read Static Shock #1, but I was excited about this whole Milestone relaunch. Really I would say that it seems like the Milestone Returns thing, some people were a little underwhelmed by. I would say if you're one of those folks, still try out these first issues because you're getting an actual creative team. You're getting one artist. You're getting one writer kind of getting into their groove. This was just a very effectively told origin story introducing you to the characters. And Reginald Hudlin is writing it. He's with this point we call him a comic book veteran, I guess. He did a whole bunch of issues of Black Panther, I really enjoyed it. Basically, this is a riff on Superman, but obviously Black folks. One of these things that was really, I don't actually know the original comic book enough to know, but he's actually kind of also a mix with Martian Manhunter because I see, I've never read the original, but there's some really clever ideas in here. But overall, just a really effectively told story. Artwork was really good. I'm excited to see where it goes.
If it's like Static, it's the same premise. They're just tweaking it a little bit.
This thing Icon is sort of reluctant. Icon doesn't even actually really exist. He is a, from all intents and purposes, as far as I know, an immortal, godlike person, with powers similar to like Superman and whatnot. But is a hermit. He just stays at his mansion. He wants everybody to leave him alone. It's not until this young girl breaks into his mansion to see if they can steal stuff, her and her friends, that he, pounces on all of them, scares the hell out of them. And she kind of comes back and says, like, why are you just hiding in here?
Yeah.
You could really do some help. You could help the world. You could do some good. And I'm sure that was the premise of the original, but again, I've never read the original. So we have a couple of really cool alternate covers for it as well.
I love that.
There's the cardstock cover here. And this one's really great too.
Oh, that's great too.
So
yeah, they both appeared in the Young Justice cartoon as well. So they're awesome characters. Craig says, I read the original Icon and Rocket. It was one of my favorite Milestone titles. And we got a nice comment here on Instagram. You want to read that, Ryan?
Yeah, Cody's just fucking with me.
Well, we got to hear it, though.
Cody, go to hell.
He says, Coors Light, backwards hat, What frat were you in, Ryan?
I was in SMD. Never mind.
He was in
Something
He was in
Pulp
something in
Sigma.
I was in GTH. Go to hell.
Fiction.
Yeah. Rumor has it that Rocket is the nickname Superman gave that pipe. Luis said, Luis, how dare you, sir?
So take a sip of my frat juice here.
Indeed, it's frat juice. Yeah, Icon was always kind of like known for being super stoic, and like it's cool when he finally ends up like breaking the ice a little bit, because he was like not the friendliest, jolliest superhero, but
Right.
he kind of gets there a little bit.
Yeah,
later.
yeah, you were right. He's very much Martian Manhunter, like before, because he was the same way. He hid and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it is an amalgamation too.
I recommend it. Check it out. Okay, moving right along. We have Batman Secret Files,
Batman.
Huntress.
She's
This
been
is-
detective a lot lately.
yeah. This is drawn by David Lapham.
That's why I ordered it.
I should have ordered a few more of these. This is a Huntress one-shot that has a really great creative team. I was doing some pricing of some books a couple weekends ago, and it was mostly a bunch of Bronze Age DC stuff and some late Silver Age stuff. And I contend that speculators and people in general are sleeping on DC Comics. Like Huntress, both versions, on all versions of those characters, the first appearances don't go for very much money. And I'm like, I know, well, she was in Birds of Prey. I'm like, yeah, Mary Elizabeth Winstead was in Birds of Prey, and I mean, it didn't set the world on fire. If you guys don't think that eventually you're going to get to a point where Huntress is like a character that, girls are going to be dressing up for on Halloween and whatnot, like I don't know. We'll see. Well, that's my prediction. DC will eventually
Well,
it will enjoy the same kind of success that
HBO
Marvel's
Max
been
is gonna
accepting.
open up because they're going to
Yeah.
do a lot of stuff there.
Okay, we have a really cool cardstock cover here,
Ooh, that's nice.
and a really really beautiful 1:25 ratio variant here for just $14.99. This is by Erwin Rodriguez. I'm not familiar, but very moody, very realistic take. It looks like Tim Bradstreet to me. It reminds me of those Punisher covers, the Punisher Max series.
Nice.
Okay, moving right along. Can you just leave them on the counter? Thank you. Okie dokie.
Hello, Instagram.
What's happening?
I'm gonna zoom in on camera one a little bit
Okay.
so we can see the.
I don't usually talk about second issues, but it's a pretty light week for number ones. So I just want to remind everybody.
Hey, where's your barbaric shirt?
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Bad.
Where is my barbaric shirt? It's in the laundry, I guess.
You already lost it.
We got Barbaric number 2. I haven't read it yet. But
Bye.
Good night, Annie. We have a ton of copies still of number 1. Not anymore of the main cover, but the alternate covers. And I still really highly recommend this book. It was a lot of fun. We got a really cool cover here. Main cover here by the main series artist. And a beautiful, very rainbowy cover by...
Blacklight cover.
I don't think it's actually a blacklight cover, but...
You put it under blacklight, it'll be a blacklight cover.
Who is this artist? I love this guy. I love him so much. I can't remember his name. Oh, I think it's Josh Hickson. I think this is the artist of the plot. Yeah, right there. Covered by
Did you
Josh
get a
Hickson.
plot T-shirt when you went to the.
I did. I haven't gotten in the mail yet. That's why Derek sent me down a path. I ended up going to the website and finding some other things I wanted to wear.
That's a good book. Plot.
Yeah, the first.
Yeah, plot's excellent. It just takes forever to come out. What's the main feed? I'm not sure what that means. Daniel Joseph Prez. What does that mean? What's the main feed?
Well, we're coming from an app called Restream, and so we go to Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube via Restream, and then we're doing a second feed here, if that's what we're talking about, on a separate camera phone, which goes directly to Instagram. So that feed, you don't get to really hear me and Steven's voice or see our beautiful
right, 'cause
faces. as well.
Instagram doesn't like to play with others.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, next up, one of the bigger books this week is Sweet Paprika, which feels like something that Robin would say in Batman 66 or something. No, not really. Okay,
Sweet paprika.
so if those of you that aren't already familiar, this is by Mirka Andolfo, who has established herself, excuse me, as a fan favorite artist, very cartoony, very animated, also very sex positive. So that's what you got to know going into these books. I would really consider this a sex comedy. This is about a a publishing CEO, what would you call a boss bitch, I guess, who's sexually
Only you
repressed.
can get away from with saying that.
Sexually repressed because this is a very opening scene is she's taking her dollies and she's telling him to make babies, and the dad's like, that's disgusting, you're not allowed to do that, and all these things. So it's sort of about that, like kind of opening up and getting outside of stigmas that you had when you were a kid, and it was really charming.
Who's are they supernatural there? What are they?
They're like demons and angels. There's no explanation for that. Everybody in this world is, but again, he's very. I can't show that. I can't show that either. She does this all the time. She did a book called Unnatural that was all about like kind of like Zootopia, but with sex. It was like predators and prey animals, and the main character is a pig. Well, pig lady. She's attracted. She finds herself drawn to wolf. So I didn't read that, but it was a fan favorite. So I don't know. That's just kind of her style, I guess. She doesn't want to draw just normal people. She
also did the artwork in the Joker backup with Punchline.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What was that? Wasn't there another indie book that was like a angel and a demon, but they're a boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yeah,
the art's kind of similar.
It was her.
Was that her? What do you remember? What it was called?
It's the same thing. So she's kind of riffing on the same. It was called Unsacred.
Unsacred.
Yeah.
So,
same artist.
so it's not the same universe, but similar.
I mean,
could be.
Maybe.
We normally don't do business here, but you did a good thing by sending an email, so we'll just send it here. Dave and I'll say it here. Dave Enrique said, "Just sent an email to reserve that $14.99 Huntress cover. I agree with everything you said about Huntress. Good show, guys." Well, thank you, Dave. Appreciate the good attaboy, and we also agree. We love Huntress here.
We got some cool covers too. We got Stanley Art Germ here.
Ooh, nice.
Both with trade dress and without trade dress. Clothed or unclothed.
Textless.
And then there's
virgin version.
Not sexless though.
Yeah.
Okay. And then here's another. This is actually the main cover, but I didn't order many of them by Mirko and Dolfo. I just think that the Art Germ one is the one people are really going to want. And here is a cover that is polybagged because it is probably naughty.
Naughty bits.
And this is also supposed to be Mirko and Dolfo. So whatever naughtiness is drawn by Mirko and Dolfo.
That non-naughty barbarian cover, Wendy didn't think was naughty enough. She said, very tame.
It was very tame.
You hear that? You hear that, Vault? You hear that? You're not naughty enough.
Did you guys know that He-Man was originally going to be Conan, but then they watched the Conan movie and they saw boobies and they said, nope, we need to make something new. So He-Man was a toy line first, a toy and a comic in 1981. And He-Man originally looked more like Conan. But as soon as they saw that first cut of Conan, there's boobies like, nope, this isn't going to sell the kids. So they had to create their own mythology.
I guess the only thing that I think it's a shame that it didn't join the pantheon of great cartoons and toys based on hard rated R properties like RoboCop, Toxic Avenger, Terminator 2, Rambo, and the list goes on and on. It was a good time. We got some ratio variants also. Is that same Peach Momoko cover here with no clothes on. And this Mirko and Dolfo cover with no clothes on. And then a line version of that Peach Momoko.
Cool.
That's kind of cool. We don't see that.
No.
Not that way often.
Mm-hmm.
Russell, that is way off topic, dude. What are you even doing? And that's my cousin, and I'm going to put him on. Don't ask any off-topic questions.
We do questions at the end of the show.
Okay.
So good. Enough. So table that to the end of the show. I did forget to talk about Masters of the Universe. I'll save that for the end of the show too.
Okay, we have another new indie book this week called The Last Book You'll Ever Read.
What? But I want to read more.
It's yet another horror book from Vault. This one's written by Colin Bunn and drawn by Layla Lies. Is my best I'm going to do with that. And really enjoyed the artwork. Very expressive, very cool. This is, hey, Steve and Derek, have you ever seen that movie In the Mouth of Madness by John Carpenter starring Sam Neill?
I have the child edition of that.
Okay, if you like that movie, you'll like this comic.
Okay, I'm down.
That's what I'll say about that. But mostly, just really enjoyed the artwork.
And there's blood.
There's quite a bit of blood. It is a horror book. Really cool cover, also, by the way. Very very striking cover. Really like it. And then we have another really cool cover here by, I think this is Jen Hickman.
Should say on the back.
It's Jen Hickman.
Okay.
Nice.
You don't want to just go by my trust my.
Well, sometimes
Your Ryan sense.
you gotta
Okay, we were talking
verify.
about Dune, and it just so happens that we also have a new Dune comic book.
Oh,
This
sweet.
is the Blood of the
Sarduka.
Sardaukar.
Yeah.
Sardaukar. It's been a long time since I read the book. I should know that because I actually listened to the book.
Oh, nice.
That's how I read it. New Dune series. If you didn't know, they've been adapting the books in comic book form, and they've been pretty successful. And we have a couple of ratio variants to go along with it. Here's just a 1 in 10 featuring the character, not sure the artist, and then also a 1 per store non-trade dress of that one as well.
So me and friend of the store, former employee here, Max Beckman, when we'd work together, we'd love to quote how Marlon Brando mispronounced Krypton. He called it Krypton.
Or that's just a way to say it.
So we always say Spider-Man,
Superman.
Mm-hmm. Krypton. So in that new Dune trailer, instead of saying Harkonnen, who's Thanos? Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin says, "You got to be careful of the Harkonnen." I'm like, what the hell is a Harkonnen?
It's like a loogie.
Harkonnen. Watch out, Paul, for the Harkonnen.
Earlier I used the word harkens, like it harkens back to this thing.
Yeah.
And then I realized there's the movie theater chain called Harkins. Do you think that's where they came up with their name?
They harken back to an old time. No, that's someone's family name.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Okay, you can't see California without Marlon Brando's eyes.
Stumped us. I don't know what that means.
I know it's floating. In the
I'm
air
too
somewhere.
stupid for that one, Cody. You're gonna have to explain. Okay, moving right along. Department of Truth. James Tynion continuing to take over the world. We have issue 11 out this week.
Wait a second. That looks like issue 1.
But this is the 6th printing of issue 1. They say it's the final printing. They are not going to do any more. Those of you that are hardcore Department of Truth collectors are definitely going to want to pick this up. I ordered a bunch so I could qualify for ratios, but most of them are already spoken for.
No way.
I think that I have 1 in 25 left, maybe. But the only way to know for sure is to send me an email at pulpfictionlongbeach@gmail.com.
Hold on a second. I have the technology to put that right on the screen, Mr. Ryan.
Thank you. I like technology. Russell Dune was a novel first before it was anything else.
There's
these comic books
actually 18 different books.
Yeah, I only read 1. And that's all.
I think
I'll
the
ever
original
read.
run was like 6 or 7 books or something, Ryan. But then
Then his son
kept
took
writing.
over or
Yeah.
something, right?
But yes, there's lots of Dune comic books. They're pretty good.
Okay. We have Berserker number 4 this week. Along with a whole bunch of different ratio variants. I'm going to be selling this for very cheap. By the way, everything's already priced. Wendy is usually busy and she will probably be joining us soon. But if you all want to see the prices, if you go to pulpfictionbooksandcomics.com, which maybe somebody could be nice enough to post a link in the comments, you can see the prices for these. I'm doing the Berserkers pretty cheap, but I can't remember what they are off the top of my head, nor the ratios. So there's Raphael Grandpa. What's really cool about this one is he's kind of changed up his coloring a little bit. It's a little bit softer, which I think is really neat. This is a series that was just so hot, and I'm kind of wondering if it's going to be able to sustain itself. Don't forget to read your comic books. That's all I want to say. Don't forget to read your comic books. Hype is fun. Hype is cool. But actually, Berserker was pretty awesome.
If we could get maybe Keanu Reeves on one of these streams, it's kind of attainable, right?
I think so.
Could probably hype the book up.
Yeah.
Get him on the phone.
Let's do it. I mean, he needs us more than we need him, really.
Sure. I mean, we're doing fine. His book could use some help.
Here is Keanu Reeves a la Mirka and Dolfo, we were just speaking about. And then at a higher ratio, you can have that same artwork without any of the scuzzy trade dress on it. And check it out. We got Christian Ward joining the party.
Oh, I love that.
Very cool. Very bloody. Oh, and look at this. My cousin making up for everything with posting the link
No, I did that.
on Instagram,
Oh, God bless.
He did it. I was just going to do it.
which I guess you can't click things on Instagram, which is really dumb. And then that same Mirka and Dolfo artwork, just the line work there. That's a 1 in 100 ratio, by the way. That's as high as we're going to get. No more 1 in 200s, no more 1 in 1000s, no more 1 in 500s. Somebody told me today that the new Something is Killing the Children series, the House of Slaughter thing, is going to have a 1 in 1000 ratio variant.
What?
Just come on, guys.
So I posted a link to the variants on both.
Oh, well, thank you.
Both of them. So
Okay.
A couple comments here. Joseph Perez earlier said naughty paprika, and then he pronounces it kryptonite instead of kryptonite. Yes, kryptonite. And then we have a specific question from Saul regarding some old issues. I have the email address right there, so if you have any specific issues, questions, send us an email if you can. Ryan will get back to you.
Okay, next up, not a lot from Marvel this week, but we have Amazing Fantasy #1, which I think you should pick up just because it's Kari Andrews doing the whole thing, and he is actually working in that like cool Kari Andrews style that I really enjoy. If you liked books like his Iron Fist run, or more recently, Erratic. Basically, it's just I think it's sort of just like what happens when Marvel superheroes get stuck in like Conan kind of land, right? I don't know much about. No, it looks real good. It looks like a lot of fun. Captain America in kind of Conan mode, riding a giant flying lion. That seems all right to me.
Like Cringer.
We have a couple of ratio variants to go along with that. Here is the 1 in 25. Not sure of the artist.
I don't think. Did you show the Captain America cover?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But that's the alternate cover by Kari Andrews that he drew. Well, they're both by Kari Andrews, but look, he's got 2 modes. That's Kari Andrews.
Painted.
That's also Kari Andrews.
Painted.
Not painted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like his more loose thing that he does.
Matt Schaefer says, "Are you drinking beer?" Well, Steven and I are having
Hey now.
water,
Yeah. We're keeping it family friendly over here.
and
They're drunk frat boy over there.
Mr. Animal House over here. Mr.
Match-
Woo 500 pull box customers gonna party.
Wow, try to do something nice for anybody.
We get some hyper thick action up in here.
I could just see Ryan going up like an Animal House. Are you guys playing cards?
Totally. I love it.
Are you done?
No, never. Continue, please.
I totally lost my train of thought. I guess it was
Sorry,
what?
Andrew's alternate variants now.
Yeah. Lazy Bone says barbaric. We already talked about it.
Yes.
You'll have to go back and watch in the video.
One Carlos Barrio says Alex Horley is the artist
Horley, yes.
for the 1 in 25 Amazing Fantasy.
Yes, thank you. And then we also have a Simone Bianchi 1 in 50 ratio variant.
Wow. What's the book about, Ryan?
Apparently, it's about flying lions.
Valpor?
I didn't read it. I don't know. Isn't it like I know because you guys aren't Marvel literate enough to help me with this stuff sometimes. I think it's something called like Weird World. Am I Weird World?
Yeah, werewolf.
Weird World, which is again just kind of a fantasy.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Dimension in Marvel.
Yeah, kind of not necessarily Conan, but like in the fantasy realm. Yeah.
Barbaric. Yes, barbaric. Yes, thank you. Okay, we have a dude. This ratio variant was going for more money than I was expecting. I don't remember how much. I think we priced it maybe 50 or 60.
Michael Cho?
It's Michael Cho on Shang-Chi. I suspect it's because maybe stores aren't ordering enough Shang-Chi anymore. And there's not quite as many of them, but that's a really cool variant. And also, I think that this is not new to this comic book, but I think that this character was created just very recently, and I think she's featured in the film. So I think anything maybe with her on the cover,
In the Shang-Chi
people are kind of jumping on.
And it's a beautiful Michael Cho cover.
And it's a beautiful Michael Cho cover. This is it. It's the last issue of Better Ray Bill.
No way.
And unfortunately, I'm here to report that I am once again been shorted by Diamond. So everybody that actually put it in their polls got it, and I don't now have any copies basically for the shelf. So why aren't you guys ordering Better Ray Bill? I was. This is by Nick Dragotta. Oh, if you're not familiar, it was the main series artist on East of West, and I like him quite a bit.
Louise says, I'd be very disappointed if Ryan doesn't do a cake stand at the store on Free Comic Book Day. We're trying to set that up.
Make that happen.
Louise. Matt Schaefer says, Weird World rocks. I thought he was saying Westworld, but it's Weird World. Real quick, Ryan, if you can bear with me. The thing for Amazing Fantasy says, experience the heroes like you've never before. Red Room, Black Widow, Teenage Spider-Man, World War II Captain America, the most iconic versions of your favorite Marvel characters across time on an island of intrigue and darkness and amazing fantasy. Are they dead? Are they dreaming? Or have they truly been transferred to a fantastical realm? So I guess that's Weird World, right?
I.e., Curry Andrews wanted to draw whatever he wanted, and we let him.
Pretty much, yeah. This is the one you've been waiting for, True Believers. It's Amazing Fantasy. Yeah. All right, so that doesn't give much detail, but that was the official Marvel synopsis.
Just crack it open, look at the artwork. If it looks like it's for you, you're probably gonna have a good time.
Looks cool to me.
Okay, we also have Eternals this week, which will eventually gonna get a movie.
That's
right?
gonna be a movie.
So we have, as always, a design variant of Makari. I guess is the character's name.
He looks short on that cover.
And then I'm not sure who the artist is on this, but Thanos punching out Icarus, pretty good.
Ouchies.
For those that are Thanos fans, apparently there's a whole bunch of Thanos action in the Eternals book. Some people were all about Thanos, but maybe not caring about the Eternals. I'm just saying.
There's
Maybe check
rumors
out the
that
Eternals.
Thanos' dad and baby Thanos are going to be in the Eternals movie.
Baby Thanos?
Young Thanos.
Oh, for like young time traveling shenanigans things.
well,
again.
no, because the Eternals have been around for a long
Oh,
time.
they're gonna see a young Thanos. I get it.
He's gonna be hanging out with Baby Yoda.
Yep.
Very
cute.
cool. Mike Del Mundo ratio variant here
Wow.
for Symbiote Spider-Man Crossroads. Excuse me.
What is that?
I don't know. So, well, Symbiote Spider-Man is sort of a what if side series kind of thing. No, it's not. It's the ongoing, continuing adventures of Peter Parker with the symbiote suit, written by Peter David. Yeah, that's
a
it.
good synopsis.
But really cool Del Mundo cover. I ordered extra just to get the Del Mundo cover. Okay. All right. Star Wars. Everybody loves Star Wars. We have Star Wars High Republic number 7 this week. This is the 1 in 25 ratio variant. Not sure who the artist is. Not sure who the character is. Not really sure anything about it.
But it's Star Wars.
But it's Star Wars. And Star Wars has been picking up a little bit of steam lately. There's been a couple of books that have introduced new characters that people have rushed in here to snap up.
That Jabba the Hutt punk rock bounty hunter chick looked pretty cool.
She was one of them. Yep. I actually have more of those on order. So
Her name's like Fraka or something like that.
sounds right.
Yeah.
And a new character also introduced in Star Wars High Republic Adventures that people got pretty excited about, I guess. Pretty cool X-Wing versus AT-AT. At. What's the official? At?
Yeah.
At. 1 in 25 ratio here. Pretty cool. Just a classic X-Wing cover.
I think the first time I've seen like that on a cover, Marvel cover,
Just like an X-Wing.
yeah, they're like, yeah.
The one I'm more excited about is Francesco Francavilla.
Yeah.
I got a couple of 1 in 10 ratios for Star Wars Adventures this week. This is an all ages title, but there's some banger covers. Obviously, this is Return of the Jedi.
He's going to be
riff.
doing a Star Wars book for, I think it's IDW.
They should let him do everything. I don't know why he isn't doing everything. He had some really cool Mondo posts. He had a really cool Curse of Dracula poster from Mondo this weekend. It was kind of impossible to get. Hey, guess what? That's it for comic books.
No way.
No
That's
way.
I got a few graphic novels to talk about, and then we'll bring it on home. I am restocked on Wonder Woman Dead Earth.
So cool.
And that was.
I'm way restocked.
Oh, no. If you missed it, you need to buy that book. That was so damn good.
I may have back ordered some and then forgot that I did, and then back ordered more. I have a lot. We might do a Dead Earth sale. I don't know. We'll see. But if you haven't picked up this book, it was one of the best things that came out during the shutdown. I still recommend it to this day, and it's a perfect thing to just pick up and read if you've never read anything by Daniel Warren Johnson. You want to check him out, or just Wonder Woman in general. It's basically just a post-apocalyptic Mad Max meets Wonder Woman kind of style story, done by I think one of the most exciting working artists right now. So check it out. I have plenty in stock now.
Yay.
Yay.
A couple other things. No idea what this is, but it looked kind of cool. It's just a new manga called Number 5. I don't usually talk
Mambo
about manga.
number 5?
Number 5. It's Mambo number 5. It's manga number 5.
There we go.
By
Don't get me
Tayo
mistaken with manga number 4.
Matsumoto. The only reason I'm bringing it up, I don't usually talk about it, is just the art looks different. That's it. A lot of manga looks samey to me, unfortunately. I'm sorry, no offense. But this looks kind of interesting. I'm interested in it as a connoisseur of comic book artwork. I would like to check that out. Those of you that are Terry Moore fans, but more specifically Rachel Rising fans, probably missed out on this little baby miniseries called Serial, which is the ongoing adventures of a little girl that has the soul of a demon, and she wants to kill people. She's a serial killer. She, that's her nature, but also she's trying to be a good person. So it's kind of like Dexter a little bit. But people seem to really enjoy this, and I don't know if it's something you can just pick up and read. Maybe, but at the very least, this is my chance to plug Rachel Rising, which is an excellent comic book by Terry Moore.
I think she comes out of. Well, she was in that year, the 5-year thing.
All of them were. Yeah,
more universe.
Yeah, I don't know if that's kind of that's not weird, I guess. Hey, Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
Let's get dangerous, guys.
Let's
dangerous.
I don't know. We'll see if there's. I think this is pretty neat. We had a couple of people pre-order this, and I thought, what the hell? I did get a couple for the shelf.
Good.
Yeah, Darkwing Duck comics. Also, apparently, it looks like a Goofy movie comic books to some extent.
There you
Also,
go.
from what I can see here in the back, Goofy was their favorite movie of mine as a 90s kid.
Who put that out?
This is good question. Not an obvious candidate, or I don't know. Fantagraphics.
Okay. That might be because there was like Disney comics that they.
Oh, here we go. It has Adventures of the Gummy Bears, DuckTales, Chippendale Rescue Rangers, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, Goof Troop, and Bonkers.
That's like your after school experience right there.
That's pretty much everything.
Disney Afternoon, right, all in one book.
If you didn't already know and you're just joining us, by the way, we always do our graphic novels at 30% here at Pulp Fiction Comics.
Matt Schaefer says Thanos for president. Louise says a manga called Number 5. What happened to the other 4 manga?
Number 5, Volume 2. It's going to get really
And
confusing.
Joseph Perez says it's a countdown series like 0 Hour. Manga 4 is next. Totally serious, not kidding. I guess that means he's not kidding.
He said it's a countdown.
Countdown. So manga.
Must be going back.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so manga 4 is the next one.
I like that idea. Robert Kirkman started it with the issue 17 thing, but it just never returned. I don't know what the hell happened to it, but that's a neat idea. Okay, we have Batman the Max for those of you that are Sam Keith fans or just fans of weirdness in general. I like it when Batman is not all down to earth and gritty, but instead trippy and psychedelic. This took forever. This was also coming out during the shutdown. Had a really hard time coming out. It's all eventually coming out in a graphic novel here for you.
He was slow.
And Sam Keith, maybe he's a little slow. We have a few more King in Black tie-ins trickling in. What do we got? Gwenom versus Carnage, which people seem to really enjoy. Some cool new mix-up characters with neat costume designs. King in Black Avengers and King in Black Thunderbolts. All right. And we have, last but not least, certainly not least, we got some Shaolin Cowboy. Definitely a favorite here in the store. Anything by Jeff Darrow. If you're not already familiar with this guy, you should make yourself familiar. He is one of the most exciting action artists ever. And this stuff is a lot of fun. And last thing, for those of you that are excited about this, there's an Overstreet comic book price guide. That's all.
David Mack cover.
Once a year. The cool Dave Mack cover. Mike used to get a ton of these. I got 2. Yeah. Most of this market is pretty much transitioned over to the internet, and there is no one price for anything anymore. It's constantly fluctuating, going up and down and left and right and sideways. And if you're waiting on an Overstreet price guide, I got a few of those as well. Okay, I'm done.
You can't be done. How dare you?
Ryan.
Joseph Perez, he got us. He says, no, I'm totally making that up. You got us because you said totally serious, not kidding.
We're going to send the purple pants dinosaur with a pipe to.
Oh, he was just kidding? That's kind of a neat idea.
You don't get any baby grapes, Joseph.
No baby grapes for him.
Or a spicy meatball.
Now I can just steal the idea.
That is a good idea.
I didn't skip Spawn because of the frat boy comment. I skipped Spawn because Spawn is for basic. I'm just kidding. No, I mean, whatever. Spawn's out this week, and it has here, I'll grab it.
He's going to grab it.
I upped my orders just on this one because people like their homage covers. So we have a pretty cool, specifically in this one because he's homaging his own character Venom for this character. I have no idea who this character is supposed to be. That is looming
Venom,
over Spawn. Huh?
Doesn't look like Venom.
It doesn't look like Venom, but it is a Venom homage cover nonetheless, so it will probably sell.
Nice.
Okay, now I am finished.
How dare you?
It's not finished. Now it's finished. Does anybody watch Spaced? Never mind.
Yes. It was a good show.
I'm getting a bit of stutter here.
Oh, the connection? It's good on my end. Ryan, wave your arms around like you don't care.
This is my marionette waving my hands around.
Okay, well, this portion of the show, we're going to do some questions. So,
one day I'm going to have a good answer.
Who was talking earlier? Was that your cousin, Mr.
That is my
Skinner?
cousin.
So he was asking, "What's your favorite comic artist and your favorite comic?" I know that's really hard to say. So it doesn't need to be your favorite all time, but just maybe something
Favorite comic book is Hellboy. Favorite comic book artist is always changing. Right now, it's James Herron.
Okay, cool. How about you?
Probably my favorite comic book artist. Okay, if it's like old school, I'd have to say Jim Aparo because he drew Batman. And I'd say more modern, I really love Kelly Jones. He's such a brilliant artist. Writer, I mean, there's just so many. There's so many good writers, but like Neil Gaiman or Alan Moore, it just really doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, we didn't ask writer. We should ask writer. Okay, now how about favorite comic?
You.
You said it, Hellboy.
Oh, Hellboy.
Yeah.
Favorite comic.
Doesn't need to be of all time. It could just be like your favorite comic right now.
Favorite comic right now. I'm actually really liking the Batman Superman by Gene Luen Yang.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really, really. I mean, it's just. I always say part of the problem with them teaming up, it makes no sense for them to team up. They're completely opposites.
They're the world's finest, though, Steve.
Well, yeah, but look at some of the world's finest where they were like on seesaws and stupid stuff. Superman was like a green alien.
Yeah, but one's the brawn and one's the brains.
Except that Superman really is smart.
I know, Derek. I was baiting the hell out of you.
But Gene really found a way to kind of crack that. Where they're really compatible in that story.
Yes.
You've been reading it, right?
Yeah, I like it a lot. Yeah. That's cool.
Batman Superman.
It's too hard to say, but I'll just throw out names because I've got like 50 favorites of each. One of my favorite artists, contemporary, Patrick Gleason, and then a couple of my favorite books right now is I'm sorry, I'm not very interesting. It's always Superman, and then something indie I'm really liking a lot right now is Noctera, and then writer Grant Morrison. Love Grant. He's weird. I just love him. I like that last issue of Superman and the Authority.
Yeah, but it wasn't too weird. There's some weird stuff. There's the Superman line. There's always a Grant Morrison line where he goes, extra dimensional insect terror. That's the kind of thing that Grant, but nobody yells that out loud. Nobody says that out loud.
There's almost like two Grant Morrisons. There's the Grant Morrison who did that in the Green Lantern, and then there's the Invisibles in Doom Patrol.
Right. Yeah, I really enjoyed Superman and the Authority, not versus the Authority.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Something I'm noticing with Bendis, I don't mean to beat up on Bendis because I'm, partially enjoying this Justice League run, is that sometimes you just can't understand what's happening in the book. Sometimes between panel to panel, like something has changed and it's consistent in every issue now. And then I notice in this issue, like you're on one panel and the next page, you're like, well, wait a second, did I miss something? And then Aquaman had to explain something. He's like, well, Superman's doing this. It's like, well, they didn't show any of that. It's like they cut out a whole scene or something. So
maybe they're going to do a whole issue of deleted
scenes. Maybe I don't know. Matt Schaefer says Grant Morrison is delightfully insane. I agree with that. Joseph Perez has got a question for the panel. He says, "What story hooked you on the comics?" I'll start with that. I was reading comics from a super super young age, but I think what really really got me into it was. Before it was called Justice League International, just the Justice League 80s run.
Giffen.
With
Giffen,
with Guy Gardner and Batman and Booster Gold and Fire and Ice and Blue Beetle. That just really hooked me. The 86. Yeah, loved it. So that's what hooked me. How about you, Steven?
Okay, so here's the thing. I remember as a kid, it must have been a reprint or something. I had a Plastic Man comic, and it was definitely the Jack Cole, the original. But I would say really what hooked me was there were kind of two things. It was DC Comics Presents.
I love those.
So every issue it was like a different it was like Brave and the Bold, but with Superman. So every issue he'd team up. And then of course the 12th or 13th issue had a preview of the new Teen Titans. And that, that's really when I kind of really started getting into comics. I always read comics, because and yes, I did pick up Giant Size X-Men #1 at the newsstand,
and yet didn't put it in some plastic.
Oh no, I read
in a vacuum sealed.
I read that
because if you did, you would be tens of thousands of dollars richer right now.
But I read it and I loved it.
Great answer from earlier. That new Jabba the Hutt female bounty hunter is named Deva, by the way, Deva.
Deva.
How about you, Ryan? What book hooked you when you were a child?
Here's the thing. I was a 90s kid, and the comics were kind of trash in the 90s that I was
How dare
picking up
you.
and reading.
How dare you.
And I only got them very seldom, very few, far and few between. So I didn't really get a chance to get hooked. I didn't get hooked until later, until I was like 17 when I read Dark Knight Returns and Watchmen. That was it.
That would do it.
Those are good
A very
gateways.
boring answer, but that's what it is. I
No,
got into it
that's
the way a lot of
acceptable.
people do.
But you didn't grow up a comic book
No, I
nerd
didn't.
like me and Steven.
No, I didn't.
He was a frat boy drinking.
I know, right?
beer.
Ryan Skinner, one of the cool kids. Never been accused of that before. Matt Schaefer
Couple of
says,
gatekeepers over here.
I know, right? Matt Schaefer says that incarnation of Justice League was one of my favorite comics. Awesome. And then a couple more questions here. What comic book that isn't a movie or an animated series right now? So I guess let's not say Berserker because we know that's already happening. Would you, if you were
Ultra Mega.
there, we go.
Ultra Mega.
Perfect.
What was the question?
That was it. That was the
Ultra
answer. Would you option if you were Ryan Studios or
Oh
Steven
my god!
Studios?
Give me a budget and an animation. All the top animators, everybody that just is chomping at the bit to do something crazy and give them all the money and to do Ultra Mega.
Love it. How about you, Steven? What would
Okay,
you do?
I kind of have two. One was kind of already done. Was Amazing Man because there was actually one of those like little DC shorts. It was really awesome. But,
Yes.
but I would still love to see like that. That would be
That'd be cool. Yeah.
that would be cool. But something that hasn't been done is Ambush Bug. I would love to see like Ambush
I
Bug.
love it.
Whether I even maybe in live action in a weird way because like
That'll be so good.
but if you also did it animated, you could just really just go off the hook with it.
I love it. Joseph Perez says Saga by Peter Jackson. Wow, that'd be dope. Joseph also said earlier, I want the grapes and the meatballs. I apologize profusely. Love it. So I have got an answer that'll make Wendy happy. I would say Inkblot, an
There you go.
animated of Inkblot.
Yeah. Everybody loves cute cats.
So we skipped over two news stories real quick. One was He-Man, and that involves the last question of the night. So He-Man came out, and it's called Masters of the Universe Revelation. I saw the first 5 episodes. Did you, Steven?
I haven't seen it yet. I heard-
Ryan hasn't seen it yet.
I have heard that don't base it on the first episode. Is that? Would you say that?
Yeah, I'd say watch all 5, and then I would also say that there's 5 more already done and coming. So I think some people are upset.
Well, there's only 5 that you can watch right now.
Correct. It's a 10 issue, 10 episode series. 5 drop now, 5
Gotcha.
drop later.
Gotcha.
Kevin Smith already sung the whistle. They've greenlit season 2.
Yeah. No, I'm a firm believer. I actually like
Spreading it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I like spreading it out. You know.
The biggest, I talked to Ryan, I'll try to be quick. I talked to Ryan off camera about this. The biggest complaints a lot of folks are having, like that, oh, it's the Tila show. We wanted the He-Man show. He-Man's in it. He's hardly in it. But again, I think, wait for the second 5. And I thought it was interesting. And like, I think Kevin Smith's in a hard place because, people want something different, but then you can't make something too different. People are saying he Last Jedi'd it because he subverted expectations and.
Oh, you mean the best movie of the last trilogy?
Oh, hot take
I don't
Skinner
care,
over here.
man. I'm invincible.
Wow, until his wife gets a hold of him, and then he's pudding.
That's true.
But yeah, so
He's just, he grew up on the Ewoks. What can we say?
that's true. So it's kind of a polarizing thing, and poor Kevin Smith, he's a little sad about it because he thought everyone was gonna love it. But
I don't think he's sad because he's doing
Clerks 3, yeah,
So,
his thing.
He's not sad at all.
Luis has a comment here. He says Gotham Academy would be my choice. I would see it
That
being an
would be-
animated show in the vein of Gravity Falls.
Yeah, no,
That'd be cool.
That would be really good because that's a shame. That thing really needs to be because I think it's out of print. Even the trades aren't they?
Yeah, actually,
I don't understand.
that's pretty
that.
silly.
Yeah,
Put all of them together in one little chunky tray.
and
They
they even
sell
did
pretty
that
good.
crossover with Lumberjanes, which
Yeah.
was perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this leads to my question. So that was the news story, and I'm sure a lot of people have opinions on whether they like this new Masters of the Universe or not. But so Kevin Smith, who's an established writer, filmmaker, was the showrunner, head writer on this new reboot for an animated series. Putting your executive hat back on, boys, if you could hire a director, writer, some auteur, whatever, to be in charge of a reboot of an 80s or 90s, whatever, animated property, what would you do? My example is I would choose Robert Rodriguez to remake an animated series called The Inhumanoids.
Inhumanoids.
You remember it?
Dude, that and one other thing were these things that I used to describe to customers all the time, and nobody knew what the hell I was talking about.
It's so messed up, right?
And then eventually I ran into somebody that knew everything there was to know about toys and cartoons. And
Do
he
you
was
have
like,
any of the toys?
Inhumanoids? And I'm like, maybe. And I went and like and put it on YouTube. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I watched this on VHS so many times. They must have had like the first pilot episode on a tape or something. That's why I got it all the time. Yeah, that's creepy monsters.
Kind of post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Probably inappropriate for kids back then.
Decompose.
I love that you remember it. That's
I
great.
remember. Yeah. Okay, so Robert Rodriguez and Inhumanoids. That's pretty good.
So pick a director.
You always
right?
have one ready to go.
I know, I
So,
cheat.
you think you're so.
Why just made this up in
smart.
fun?
Do you need more time?
Yeah, let me think about it.
Here we go.
Because I got one.
Matt Schaefer's got one.
Okay.
Oliver Stone should write and direct an action Thundar the Barbarian. Would Thundar be doing blow and hooking up with ladies of the night? I don't know.
So I would pick Guillermo del Toro
Ooh.
and Johnny Quest.
Oh.
The original Johnny Quest, not that
Not the
crap
new
that
one.
came afterwards. We don't talk about that.
Okay.
Only because I think he has a great sensibility, beyond just like monsters and stuff, but he could balance both. Because there were a lot of episodes that didn't necessarily have monsters,
Okay.
All right. It doesn't have to be. Wait, you said something that hasn't been done yet?
Just
what you said?
some reboot.
Yeah, so something that
It can be anything, but it doesn't have to have
Like
already
David
been
Lynch
done.
doing Friends.
Okay, I'm going to go a little bit. I still haven't seen. I want to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles done like the way that I think it still deserves to be done. And
Yeah.
I grew up with the movies, not the cartoon. So I do think there's a little bit of. I enjoyed like the kind of down to earth grittiness, I guess, of that first movie. If it could even be said to have that. To be fair, they did put Shredder in literally a garbage truck and crushed him to death. That was a children's film.
Yes.
But I want just like serious. I want it back to like serious martial arts and make it like Avatar: The Last Airbender, but with mixing the mutant monster angle with the Eastern influenced martial arts kind of style thing.
But not like
who would make it?
Oh, right.
who would make
Well, how about the Avatar guys? Them.
but not the Avatar movie guy.
No, the guys that did the show.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Or Gene.
They're not really an auteur filmmaker. Ari Aster. Ari Aster does Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's what I want to see.
I remember that original movie, like Michelangelo, one of them gets, or Raphael gets stabbed.
Yeah.
And you're like, there were stakes. You're like, oh my gosh.
yeah,
you know?
there's a bit more of that.
I do like the third one. I think the third one, like, it's not perfect.
And they go
but
back
at
and
least, but
Turtles in Time.
Well, but at least it got the second one. I mean, it's fine for what it is, but it's not very good.
Yeah.
Where the third one, at least they tried to do something different.
I think that's what the
But-
comic books, the IDW comics, have been doing now for
Yeah.
a long time. So I basically just want that. I want the amount of respect and reverence or whatever for the thing, even though it is just a kid's thing, and it's not super serious, but like they're ninjas.
Go Ninja, go.
That's the one we don't.
Oh, sorry. Wendy says, this is the end. Hi,
that-
everyone. No,
Cody
it's
had-
never the end. Wendy, you can replay it and start from the beginning.
I'm about to run out of battery on my phone.
Um,
Cody had a really good one. He said Ronald Moore version of Exo Squad. That's
ooh, good
that's
take.
that's a good take.
And Joseph earlier said, replying to Luis, that he loves Becky Cloonan regarding Gotham Academy.
Yeah.
Speaking of Becky Cloonan, if it's still up on the Comic-Con at home, it was her, Michael Conrad, and then the team that's doing the Nubia comic talking about Wonder Woman. And there's somebody doing an issue. Oh, Jill Thompson's doing an issue of Wonder Woman. She's drawing one of those issues
Cool.
for the Michael Conrad.
Nice.
And because what it is they're leading this whole thing to where she comes back to the DC universe. That's what this is all leading up to.
It's a shame nobody's reading it, and by
It's
nobody
a
I
shame.
mean not more than 20 people.
It's a really good book.
All right, guys. Well, those are the questions. You guys did great. So let's cut to camera 2 here. Mr. Steven, who
Yes.
are you? What do you have to plug?
I'm Steven. You can check out my website, popculturemaven.com. You can also, that has, you actually just check out the review videos on my YouTube channel.
Nice.
that I post them on the Pulp Fiction group site.
Very cool.
I review comics every week. I read way too many comics. Thanks
No
to
such
Ryan.
thing.
Yeah, but I try. The ultimate thing I always say is, they're not all winners, but you give everything a chance, and I try to help you, save your money or spend your money.
And sometimes things need a couple issues to breathe, right?
Exactly.
Like they need a 2 sec. We've been talking about this for a year. I sent Ryan a message the other day because we had a planning meeting a year and 4 months ago when we were planning on doing all these videos and social media. And I was looking at the numbers. I was like, man, we've tripled our Instagram followers in the last year. We're doing all these videos. But I think so. Thank you guys for watching and sharing and being part of the Pulp Fiction digital video community. This last year and a half of interesting year and a half of our lives here. But something we've always been kind of talking about would be cool to do a show called like second issues, or you know what I mean? Like, because everything gets a lot love on the second issue, the first issue, but it'd be cool to kind of like revisit the show or revisit the comic on issue 2 or 3, right?
Well, that's what I've been trying to do with reviews. I mean, I'm still like this week, Strange Adventures Beyond that has an awesome cover. I'll review that because
Awesome.
it's the 9th issue and everything, but there's still like people that want to know, hey, is this still worth getting?
Yeah.
One day comic books will be as exciting near their end as TV shows are.
Oh yeah.
But right now, TV shows get more exciting and more popular, and people talk more about them the longer they go and the closer they get to their finale than comic books. Unfortunately,
it's like Rorschach. I mean, it's 12 issues, and the 10th issue totally flipped it on its.
But I'm not one to talk. I read a whole bunch of number ones, but I'm getting there.
Well, yeah, I mean that's part of your business model. You're trying to get people to check out those things. Matt Schaefer says that's a great idea. I'm full of them, Matt. Thank you. Wendy says I always think reviews are as helpful in saying that they don't like as what am I not reading correctly? They don't like something because if the reviewer says this comic does this and that, which I don't like, those things might be exactly the kind of thing that someone else does like. So a thoughtful review helps in both directions. Yes, well said, Wendy. Yeah. When I always try to like review a movie or comic, I try to point out some positives. For example, Siphon, I thought was really good.
I really enjoyed that. It was a big surprise.
Man, I also like Siphon.
Those colors and everything was really phenomenal. Good. But my criticism of it was like, holy moly, a lot happened in that first issue. I kind of wish that first issue was 2. So it's really hard to make a good first issue, right? Because you're introducing a character, a world, a story.
That you're creating enough. I think we're not going to turn this into how to make comic books, but I've always
because we know, right? We're the best.
No, I mean I've read a lot. You should your first, especially a lot of new number ones. Your issue shouldn't do more than like 3 things.
Yeah,
don't introduce too many characters. Don't introduce too many plot points. Don't introduce too many ideas or concepts. Try to like one concept and one concept and 2 characters, or one character and 2 concepts or something. But
two books I like that are comparable with that was Silver City did too much in that first issue, but it gets I like the second issue better. And then what's the time travel one, Ryan?
Oh, Time Before Time.
Time Before Time. That first issue was perfect in that it set up the world fine and didn't
without feeling like some exposition dump or anything.
I refer to it as the exposition monkey. Do you want the exposition monkey that is small and you can handle it, or the exposition gorilla that's like pounding you to the ground?
Yeah,
or no exposition at all.
Wendy says, Derek, you're full of it? ? Yes, I'm full of something. Wendy also says, unless you're Jonathan Hickman, then your first issue introduces 20 things, but you better remember all 20 of them is 20 issues later. Yes.
Yeah, but he doesn't try to explain any of those 20 things. He said, it'll be explained over the next 5 years.
Yeah. Or Grant Morrison doing a first issue, and you're like, wait a second, what is happening here? But Superman and the Authority was very reader friendly. Okay, so we could go on that tangent all night, but I know we don't want to.
Tell them about you.
I'm Derek Easley of Derek Easley Entertainment. We just did another cool event for the Long Beach Museum of Art. We're doing a couple photo shoots and videos for other clients later this week. So if you ever need photos, videos, drones, there's our information right there on the screen. You can find us at DerekEasley.com. info@DerekEasley.com is the email. And we do all types of work for lots of clients all around Long Beach in Orange County, and it's my wife and I, and we do post-production, pre-production, write scripts, the whole 9 yards, do a lot of really cool content, and have a lot of awesome clients. So if you ever need any help with stuff or any references, let us know. We like to do fun things.
He's actually pretty good.
Well, thank you. I think it's good. Ryan,
Ryan's got to pee.
back to you. What's the store? What's the deal?
Pulp Fiction Long Beach. Come and visit us. This is here. I live here. Come and visit me and buy combos.
Very
Yeah.
true.
I will sell them to you.
He's doing the pee-pee dance.
All right. Sounds good. We end the stream, everyone.